the first thing he said when he got to like the EOTS section was like, get both bases and the mid flag. And it's like, well, I mean, is the shit on fucking 100 games in a row, and then you finally just inch forward and you get better and better over time. I think playing StarCraft before playing World higher ratings, because when you're at higher ratings, you're gonna get matched with people that you know, and it's almost like you are in a 10v10 pre-made, because it's like, okay, I have Cubsy on our Druid, I have Silly on Demon Hunter. Not against like some cosmetic thing. I'm just talking about like having to gear to make your character playable is a huge hurdle for a lot of people that they don't want to do that chore just to be able to play the game. Yeah, that was like the worst team I've had all day. That was fucking insane. That's how the game works. But sure.
To random BGs when you're solo queuing, random BGs. So the people that have been solo
Got some bad signs here, but maybe this guy has some good points. He did just have a good point here. Call Ink early.
a lot of
He
people out
pings the
there try to
base.
compare the different
I don't
PvP
think he.
formats,
Oh
but
yeah, so
they're
he saw. Then they can immediately know, oh, they just ghosted Mage Tower, and then they'll have someone running there instantaneously. Where if I wasn't covering the, or if I was covering the minimap, they wouldn't.
then someone, let's say, who's mechanically flawed and a BG player would be able to go into arena or 10v10 rated BGs and be
Ooh,
able to succeed.
completely clueless. He just types GG when the game is tied, and like,
But they might be lacking in the other areas that are necessary to succeed in solo queue rated BGs. Now, saying that, it's much easier.
so you can like see exactly where your healer is without having to look towards them. Across the entire map and say, oh, that guy's going LM. Before in WAD and MOP, you had to be like within 100 yards of somebody to see their nameplate. So you kind of had. Strengthening your mental. You should play an R Druid Keck. Maybe a bit next expansion, I don't know. I'll have a Druid, but I think I want to mainly play Boomy and maybe a bit of Feral.
10v10 rated BG, you're coming in with a full team. Everybody has a job. Everybody knows what their role is. Everybody knows what their job is. And everybody is good at doing their job.
Ooh, I just found a video. But like, I don't know. There definitely is like the situation where some classes are better than others at sitting a node. The other team is going to put up some sort of a fight and not just let you do that, right? So, I don't know. It seemed a little bit unrealistic, some of the things. Hmm. Well, my team just loses every node. and the people that were pros were like celebrities, kind of like how it is now, right? You have like, like the top League players, the top Dota players, top Counter-Strike players. They make fuck. But it does no damage. It still has a lot of good utility. But yeah, definitely just play Assassin, in my opinion. Struver and Ardruid more than Pally, but Pally's probably third. I think in Arena, Pally's probably my favorite. That's the one I have the most XP on, I think. Actually,
instrumental in your team winning a BG.
That's a good point.
So it's pretty cliche, but it's true. Comparing Arena to BGs is like comparing apples to oranges.
Spectator sport than arenas are for sure. Why am I by myself? Like, unfiltered dog shit. Is this 1200 or something? I think this might be an 1100 lobby. Yeah, I'm 1800 now. Can you get glide mount from RBG?
Solo queue rated BGs are most similar to random BGs. If you're solo queuing random BGs, you are often on your own. You have to self-sustain. You have to take care of yourself.
But I'll be right back. 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom. Be 1 minute. So I'm not gonna go pick the flag. You know?
Looking to buy? Next one is on me.
I don't think that's both have a point. Like I think Bajira has a point where like he doesn't want to FC. And the guy in the video has a point too where it's like, well, you have to be willing to do whatever to try to win. So if everybody just wants to do their own thing, you shouldn't have any complaints if you end up losing. No, it's not really like that. It's shit like that. I don't know. Just like a hard stop to whatever they're doing. I'm so spaced out now, holy shit. Excuse me. Watch the numbers. Bajira is fighting 4 or 5 of their teammates. But they, the Koreans were like on another fucking level for a long time. And it was just the culture. Like they take it way more seriously than like the Americans did.
Well, his team doesn't have the flag. You see, now myself, if I see that situation where the enemy team has the flag and we don't, I try to immediately break out of combat.
World of Warcraft really helped me get better at World of Warcraft. Man, have you seen Koreans? The rogue is here. Maybe I can get him.
And on top of that, they're very mechanically skilled at their spec and on Q rated at it. These are the types of players that are going to have mastery over their spec. You cannot do high-rated 3v3 arena if you have significant flaws in your gameplay. Now, BG's
the rogue
quite
coming and he called
dissimilar
Ink
from
early.
each
That's
other
good.
in most cases.
Solo, it's hard. I'm at 2 weeks on 1700. I can't get to 1800. Well, you just gotta keep trying, man.
Shadows. Oh yeah, I was definitely not.
Wait, it was actually a 3v5.
Is not very important in this bracket. I think that's a understanding that has not been achieved by the majority of this population yet.
But that sucks. I mean, I feel like people maybe just feel that way because it's new and they're not actually used to it, and it's not as bad as people make it out to be, you know? They're like, oh, it doesn't fit on illicit substances. Calf over. And then he says, lava or lose when the score is like 800 to 900. It's like, I don't think... He's main this guy, maybe he'll die, I don't know. Kind of cooking these guys. Coiled on my trinket. Trinket Hellstone for his whole... And 20 years ago? Yeah, it's just like... I don't know. You can't even explain it to someone who hasn't played it. For real though, the stream puts me to sleep as well. Reggie takes the confiscated drugs that the police department took from innocent people, and Reggie just takes it all to his house and plays RBGs. Eye out of his mind. Experience that myself too, like especially when I used to play a lot of Destro Lock. You'd have a lot of people that would just mindlessly train me. They're like, oh, gotta train Omni on his Destro Lock and just everything myself as usual. Yep, I don't think anyone on my team knows mid. If anything what Baj is doing is occupying that many people in his own way was helping. When you think about it, he's freeing up more of his team to deal with less of their team elsewhere. Yeah, that's true. What, should I... And you're like, oh, we got a Deep Wind, or oh, we got Arathi Basin. Because you just know it's going to be like a super long, drawn out, like stalemate half the game is super boring. I never played StarCraft, but I know there's some crazy Koreans out there. So pretty fun. BFA was probably the worst X-Pack ever IMO. I think Legion... I was talking about Shadowlands, I didn't even know they had a Legendary in Dragonflight. Yeah, in Season 3 and 4 they added a Legendary two-hander that you get from raiding.
Whore is one of the absolute worst type of people to have on your team if you're wanting to win. Now,
okay, well I guess we had all 8 of the worst people on your team then.
Or Bajira.
One time I was like this, I was just looking at my phone for like 10 seconds or something, and then someone in the chat was like, oh damn, he fell asleep! He fell asleep! Have your one hero, champion, whatever, and the other one, and you're in a lane, and you have four abilities, right? It was just a lot easier for people to grasp.
And full rated BGs is more demanding than solo queue rated BGs in order to advance in that format, as well as a player. So keep that in mind. those high-rated players that are coming in from Arena and 10v10 rated BGs will be able to adjust much faster.
How dare you? Uh-oh. Not me.
So what? We have never seriously played PvE? Me neither. I PvE'd in Classic WoW. Did Molten. Then the bracket's gonna be bigger, right? Alright, we got a game here. We'll continue the video after this game. I'm actually liking this video more than I thought I would before I pressed play. I was like, oh, this guy does 2100. So didn't I just lose at 1700? I'm pretty sure my last game I lost. So bad that it makes it fun. Yeah, I guess so sometimes. There's definitely times that are better than others though. Like BFA Season 4 was like pretty fucking bad, but it was kind of fun. But then I mine, and it's just, you know, I just make the most complex like mine system. I've played were MOP, WOD, Legion, BFA, Shadowlands, and Dragonflight. Out of all of those, Legion is the worst one for PvP. My eyes actually have to move. So I don't know. It took me a while to get used to this monitor when I first started using it because it's video on it. You can use it to his advantage against these morons. I want to kill the streamer mentality. Most likely wins him a lot of games. Yeah, I've definitely each other. Like if I make an arms warrior, I should have whatever 15% crit chance, 30% haste, 40% mastery, 35%. If they're watching my stream and I don't have the minimap covered, they can say, okay, they still have someone at Mage Tower. But let's say this little dot that's right here moves like this, up along the edge, a warrior, a hunter, and a demon hunter. So it's actually 5v3 here, because all Bajira has here is a warrior, a resto shaman, and a warlock. It's not like, oh, I just want to do my own thing. It's like understanding the game and like understanding like, okay, I should be over. Best TBH, yeah. I think RuneScape is a really good game and a really good MMO as well, and the PvP is also really good, but it's not comparable to WoW. And I don't mean not comparable.
If you're not in there to try to help your team win. I hope I didn't piss too many people off. I know some things, when you hear them, when they're true, they can be painful to hear, but it's true. And
They're referring to anybody that isn't Korean. So it's like, oh, this guy is one of the best foreign Terran players. He has a lot of characters. There were fun moments for sure. Like once I had my warlock, my Destro lock with 97% haste baseline, and then I had to do Mythic Plus that week. Like, you missed all of Dragonflight. You got your fix from watching. Well, I think Dragonflight was a pretty solid expansion. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely. That's like if you know, let's say you're on like a Gilneas, and you have like a rogue and a hunter on your team, and the rogue and the hunter. I ain't reading that. Just on me, and my teammates get to do whatever they want. So it's just like an idiot magnet. And then you have like 2 boomies on BGs, and he said normal BGs. I thought, what the fuck is he talking about? But his point is actually pretty true. But I think it's more true at lower ratings than at. I thought my other rogue was gonna like go off cards or something. I don't know. I should never expect anyone to do anything, like the guy in the YouTube video said. Just do it. Very easily see, okay, this guy has the ball, throws it in the hoop, he scores, right? Or soccer, like, right? Like, all of that shit exists in soccer as well. But on the most. No, but I think there might be some kind of amount next expansion from solo RBGs. I don't know. Yep, 10-man defense. I'm literally the only player on their side of the fucking map. Just dying by myself. Guy does have his abilities keybound.
Because in BGs, the most important thing is map awareness, understanding the objectives and the win conditions for the map, and being able to see pathways to victory.
Was anyone planning on going for the flag? Oh, I certainly wasn't, no. Not me. Not me.
Your buttons and the decisions that you make, and you know, like how quickly you react, that type of thing. Not based on, you know, who.
You know, but this is completely disrespectful for all of the other players that are in there in this rated format that are taking it seriously and they do want to win.
Oh my god. Like, you're not a bad player with a shit mentality because you don't want to do a certain thing. You know? Like, if you unlock different, like, skins for your character by playing, that's totally fine. That's all the gear really is, right? In Isle of Conquest or Alterac Valley. Or play it, for that matter. Hey man, what's your highest RBG rating? Over 3,000. Any competitive environment, any sport, any, you know, any video game should be about how you press your...
The peons, so to speak.
True.
You know, he's much more interested in going into team fights, regardless of whether they're helping his team win or not, and topping damage and getting the most killing blow.
Nice. I love how my Resto Shaman is just solo top in a cart that's not going to cap for another fucking 10 minutes. I don't know how to explain it. I'm talking about BFA Season 4. Like, it was really bad on paper, but it was still kind of fun. I don't know. Minecraft, that's all I like to do. Just completely turn my brain off and just mine in a line. I don't like sitting there, like, building shit and, like, looking at...
Other people on their team to do something.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think the people that have been queuing nothing but unrated from Uzo, the War Within PvP, the do's and don'ts of solo queue rated BGs.
In this video,
Man, what are you all doing? It's just a big fucking team fight. Pick the fucking flag, you dumbasses. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Of a shitty attitude than that.
This guy hates Bajheera.
Solo queue.
That's
rated
hilarious.
BGs. First of all, he's totally blind to what's happening with the objectives in the match. Victory. And you can have all those things without being a master of your spec. So I actually really don't like it when people start like trying to compare a
Or like not a real, I don't, maybe this might sound toxic, but like not a real gamer. You're just kind of like, you like watching and playing the odd game here and there. You can't really understand over to my right, right? So if I'm facing the opposite side of the map, my druid or whoever's guarding Mage Tower, you'll see their little icon over here on the right. So then they know.
Something that I've been preaching for years when it comes to random BGs. And now we have the solo queue rated BGs, and I've been saying that, but when I say it on the forums, I get a lot of pushback from people, but they stop the enemy team from capping the farm, and that leads to a victory. So someone who has no kills, dies a lot, can be...
That's fucked up, Wilson. That's why Reggie always watches it in bed. That is actually why or not the only reason. Then I got gold, and then I got platinum, then I got diamond, you know, and then just, you know, it was like such a fun, like, grind, you know? It was so hard, so preemptively again. It just makes me wonder if he knows anything at all. Like, I don't know if he knows, like, what his name is and what country he's in. Is a skin. If the stats on the gear don't matter, then that's all it is a skin. And all these other games have skins and stuff, so sure. Why the fuck not? It doesn't affect your ability to play the game.